We are back with 428 Shibuya Scramble, and we are nearing completion of the game. We have bad ends and character special episodes to unlock, and I'm trying to see what I should do first. So far, I have 1 or 2 votes for the bad ends. There are 12 of those left, and there are 5 character episodes that I need to find and punch in codes for. Hey there, Fool Arcana. So, I have 3 votes for bad ends. Nobody's going for special episodes right now. We'll see if anything changes, except it's really looking like it's not because now it's 5-0. Maybe I'd better just get on these bad ends. How does that sound? Very well, good thing I'm already prepared for this. Now, I know that I'm missing bad end 51. After this, I'm going to need to check what I need. So, in order to make bad end 51 happen, let's go to Achi, and then a whole new SOS, option A. This is something I've never even tried to do, so let's get exciting. Achi wasn't about to let them go. He chased after the punks. Hey, get back here! The gang members sprinted away at full speed. They scattered in different directions to throw him off, but Achi wasn't going to let them get away that easily. Let me see something now. Yeah, we're going into a new territory. Look at that, Mean Clean's gone. He kept after the ringleaders as they headed toward the non-Payday area, darting down a narrow side street. Hey there, Kurt. He could see an intersection up ahead. Achi sped after them, making sure not to take his eyes off them for a second. Well, uh-oh. With his attention fixed on the fleeing troublemakers, Achi never saw the car speeding directly at him. By the time he registered the impact against his side, he was sailing through the air. Oof, jeez. Is that Minorukawa? He crashed to the pavement, skewed? Skewed? Skidded? To a stop, and laid there struggling to breathe. As he watched 2 men get out of the taxi that had hit him, Achi thought to himself, I'm going to die here. Yeah, it's them. He'd been too careless. It was too late to walk that back. He could hear the sound of his own heart, beating all too slowly. And then, he heard it stop. Jeez, this is a rough way to start the stream. Of course, the endings only get more and more serious as the game progresses, so... sorry, everybody. Hit by a taxi. Wait, 55? I wasn't even going for this ending. In his headlong pursuit of some SOS troublemakers, Achi ran right in front of a speeding taxi. Sure, as the gang's former leader, he can't just stand idly by and let them be a menace, but still, maybe it'd make more sense to talk to their current leader. Well, okay, good news, everybody. I got N ending. That's one new ending I didn't know about. And look at this, we go into mystery directions with, I guess Maria's stuck, but Kano? Eh? Maybe this will get us something new? Kano sat down in a chair in the hall. Well, actually, can I... Okay, there we go. But Kuze calmly shook his head. What happened to Sasayama isn't your fault. Don't blame yourself, he said. The Osawa case is over now. Put it out of your mind. I'm assigning you to a new investigation. Kano heard no blame in Kuze's voice. There was a fatal car accident over a non-Payday. Oh, no. The culprits have turned themselves in, I hear. I'd like you to go take their testimony. To ask about the circumstances and details of a given event or situation. Standard police procedure when dealing with individuals involved in a criminal investigation sometimes includes taking written statements to present to the court. Ordinarily, Kano would have objected to such an arbitrary change in assignment. Punishment or no, he would have begged to stay on the Osawa investigation, even if it was officially on hold. But now, his heart just wasn't in it. Understood, sir, he said with a nod. Kusei handed him a briefing on the accident. It was a taxi driver and his passenger who had surrendered themselves to the police. Kano leafed through the paperwork as he headed for the interrogation room. Being immersed in the hustle and bustle of the Criminal Affairs Division felt like a return to normalcy. The events earlier in the day gradually faded from his mind. And while part of him wanted to hold on to the sense that he'd been in the midst of something unusual, something important, his lingering regrets were soon buried under the clutter of the day-to-day. Bad end. Accident questioning. Calling an end to the kidnapping investigation, Kusei reassigned Kano to look into a fatal car accident. But you can't give up here. The Osawa case hasn't been resolved at all. The taxi driver and passenger who turned themselves in are none other than Kimizuka and Minorukawa. If the two of them can avoid causing an accident, Kusei will have a different story to tell. And that was 51. That's the one I was looking for. Well, that was miserable. Now let's see what other bad ends we need, because that was 2 down. I think there are 10 to go. So we're doing alright. Let's see what we need. And let's get instructed on what the bad ending list is every single time. 52 and 53. Okay. And 54. 52, 53, 54. Now, how far does this chapter's endings go? That's what I want to know. We're in the 16 to 17 o'clock block, and this goes all the way to 63. Goodness. Alright, well, 52, 53, and 54, we'll take a look. So, Achi, 1605. Oh, I gotta back out. Achi, back to 1605. I guess I'll choose correctly this time. Achi needed to talk to Suzumo. Now let's go to the other choice, which is actually in the same block. Head to the hospital, and this will be a brand new choice again. Achi couldn't answer that, and he knew it. Please, go to the hospital. I'm asking you to, and I'm definitely someone in trouble, so it doesn't count as breaking your promise, right? Well, I appreciate that, Achi said softly. And I'll remember it when this is all done. So what if we don't go to the hospital? Because we had to meet up with Stanley, right? Achi! I'm sorry, I've made up my mind. We can go see Suzune after we've rescued your sister. So we're not going to see Achi's own sister. Let's see where this takes us, I guess. I'm actually very curious as to where this is going to go. Hitomi looked like she had more to say, but Achi grabbed her by the hand and dragged her off toward Endo Electronics, so who knows where this is going to go. Yeah, really, Winterburn, it would be nice to get hints on how to get each bad ending, instead of hints on how not to get the ones you stumbled across. As they turned a corner, Achi caught sight of... Caught sight of a group of foreign men heading in their direction on the other side of the street. The men saw them too, and immediately broke into a run toward them. That's terrifying. Damn it! How are there still more people chasing after us? Achi spun around and started to sprint in the other direction. Maybe these new guys were associates of the foreign thug who'd fought the man with a cane? Achi mulled that over as they ran, getting farther and farther from Dogonzaka. The crooks were clearly pretty familiar with the layout of Shibuya. They weren't easy to lose. Achi and Hitomi finally lost sight of them, somewhere around Nanpeidai, finally stopping once they got to Sakuragaoka. Are you alright? Achi panted. Yes, I think so. Well, guess we wound up coming here anyway. Hitomi raised an eyebrow in confusion. Suzune's hospital. It's just over there. Well, in that case, can you please just go and see her? She fixed him with a look of earnest pleading, and despite his misgivings, Achi nodded. Well, okay. Well, in this case, we lost some time, so let me see if this affects anything in our story. No, this just keeps going, so we have to mess around with other people's stories. As you can see, Kano. Let's see where this one goes. If you don't bring her, I'll kill Maria. With that grisly warning, he hung up. Kano's hand went limp. His phone slipped from his grasp and fell to the floor. He needed to get to Tateno and find out what was going on. He started running alone toward Nanpeidai, taking the quickest route through the back streets and alleys. Oh hey. He'd almost made it to South Hill when he spotted 3 foreigners in a narrow alley ahead. They were scanning the area as if searching for someone, and when they noticed Kano, they started running right for him. Jeez. They were all dressed in the same kind of black clothes Alcarawan wore. Kano recognized them at once, syndicate members who had taken part in the ransom relay. In a matter of moments, they had him cornered. Out of my way, he said. I'm in a hurry. But either they didn't understand him, or simply didn't care to respond. Instead, they moved in to attack, pummeling him with fists and kicks. Man, this stream is a downer. It was 3 against 1. Kano didn't stand a chance. Although he tried desperately to protect himself, soon he was sprawled out on the ground like a used and tattered rag. He's just kind of like, well, this is my life. The men left him where he fell. As they jogged into the distance, he could see them searching again. That was weird. The deserted alleyway grew quiet as the storm's aftermath. I need to get to Tateno. He strained to reach out for a cell phone, but he couldn't move any of his fingers. Damn. That sucks. Just suddenly, bad end. Won't be seeing Tateno. No kidding. En route to Nanpeidai, Kano crossed paths with Alcarawan's cronies and got badly beaten. Ironically, these crooks hadn't been looking for him. Someone else had led them to Nanpeidai, and Kano wound up paying the price as a result. Damn it, Achi! Well, there's ending 52. Let's undo that little mistake. Head to hospital? Yes. Let's not alert the goons. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Boom! Yeah, right, Winterburn, the best bad end so far means Kano getting reassigned. It's so bad. As for other bad end, what am I doing for 53? Minorikawa. Minorikawa depressed. A choice I have not made. You've forgotten your passion. You need to get that back. Yeah. That was his only option, really. He needed to turn back the clock, to reclaim the fire that used to burn inside him. And he knew just how to do that. Before he could, however, a young man stumbled across his path, taking a nasty fall on the pavement. Oh yeah, Kiryu. Hey. Alright, I'm sorry. Alright. Now let's see where we can go from there. Oh, we can move right along with Minorikawa. And Maria. And Achi. Damn. And Kano? Are you kidding me? I guess I'll just go back into this then. Alright, so getting dragged into a street fight was not what we want. You should have shown me that kind of respect from the start. The punk shook his head, muttering under his breath. Another dumbass gotta get taught some manners. With that, the young thug headed off in the direction of Dogenzaka. I guess this is gonna happen because we didn't keep Kiryu waiting. Hey there, Tyler. Minorikawa headed up to the roof of a nearby building and lit himself a cigarette. Tiny tendrils of white smoke drifted lazily up into the blue sky. As his eyes tracked the twisting movements of the smoke, memories of Toyama and their newspaper days played through his mind. Practically any time the two men needed to speak to one another, they'd gotten into a heated argument on the spot. Minorikawa cherished his subjective viewpoints, while Toyama insisted on objectivity for the readership. Neither shied away from vigorous headbutting, but once the articles were on the page and out the door, it was all water under the bridge. It felt almost like the referee calling no side at the end of a rugby match. The phrase called out by the referee to signal that the end of a rugby match refers to the fact that no side has possession of the ball, allowing the two teams to part on sportsmanlike terms. The truth was that somewhere deep down, Minorikawa got where Toyama was coming from. Without objectivity, readers didn't get the facts. Without subjectivity, they didn't get any emotional impact. Minorikawa had to credit Toyama for helping him become a full-fledged reporter. Mr. Toyama was in there. It was a suicide. Minorikawa let Chiaki's words drain from his mind, overriding them with one irresistible fact. The truth. The truth was in anything and everything. The truth could not be forgotten. The truth was all that remained in the end. Minorikawa smirked grimly at himself. He'd come up here hoping to reignite his journalistic passion, but instead the emptiness within had only grown. I'm getting a little nervous here. Yeah, guess this is gonna take a while. He sparked up a second cigarette. Oh, that was a keep out. Okay, so it's not necessarily an end, although something might access that. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get the endings with anybody else, but I guess I'll check. Just checking if I could jump to Minorikawa. South Hill? I don't remember what that was. I want to see if I could bust out of Minorikawa's keep out. Nope. Any jumps at all? There's no damn way. Yeah. I don't think this is happening. That's just choice. I don't think so. Alright, whatever. Let's just let stories play out. Hey there, Fakafun. So here we got Maria hostage with the dramatic Kano showdown. Kano stared in shock. Detective Tateno, why are you doing this? Is that really Maria? Tateno responded by removing the young woman's blindfold. With her blindfold removed, Maria slowly opened her eyes. Then, as she gazed past Kano, a panicked look crossed her face. Ah! She shot out her arm to point. Oh yeah, look at that! Minorikawa was just right across the way. It's so weird. Kano whirled around in surprise, and I can jump to him. There was a man on the roof of the building across the way who looked like he was getting ready to jump. Why now? Kano thought to himself, but he couldn't just stand idly by while someone committed suicide. He felt a pang of disgust when he saw Tateno take in the situation with an indifferent glance, but made no move to help. Detective Tateno, I'll be right back, Kano exclaimed. Oh jeez, we can finish this after. Without waiting for an answer, he raced for the other building. That's so bizarre. When he got to the second rooftop, the man was still there, staring down at the ground below. Don't do anything rash, Kano warned, hurrying toward him. When the man gave no response, though, Kano quickly halted. The stranger was still several meters away. Kano braced himself, ready to lunge for the man if necessary. Let's not be hasty. Nobody is going to be happy if you jump. Still, the man said nothing, simply gazing out of the sky. Surely he could hear Kano now. The detective continued, keeping his voice low and conversational. I've got a coworker. He's one of the most absurdly devoted husbands you can meet. All he does is brag about his wife. The man continued to ignore him. Hey, Dracologist. He was stabbed in the belly earlier today. He's in the hospital right now on death's door. He was happy, but now his life might get snatched away from him anyway. Still, the man appeared unmoved. It was as if the words weren't even reaching him. Don't you think it's a waste to just go and throw your own life away? Kano waited for the man to respond. The stranger took a purposeful stride away from the fence, toward the roof's edge. Hey there, Barry. Stop! Don't do it! The man unflinchingly stepped out toward empty air. No! Kano sprang forward, somehow managing to grab hold of the stranger's wrist. He yanked the man back from the edge, getting only a blank stare in response. Don't go wasting your life like this! Ordinarily, Kano would have stayed and talked until he was sure this guy's death wish had passed, but there wasn't time for that right now. Oh my god, this is so stressful. Maria was in just as much danger at that very moment. Whipping out his handcuffs, he shackled the man to the fence. What? I promise I'll come back. Please just stay alive for a few minutes longer, okay? Kano left the man staring in bewilderment and raced back to the South Hill building. Weird. Alphard's probably already done here. When he got back to the roof, no one was there. Kano immediately tried to call Tateno in his cell, but the call didn't go through. Tateno must have powered off his phone. Damn it! Where did you go, detective? He needed to hear what Tateno had to say. He still had no idea what was really going on, or what the grim truth might be. And it seemed he had just lost his chance to find out. In desperation, Kano rushed from the building. Well, now what? But in his frantic search of the area, he saw no sign of either Tateno or Maria. Nor, later, a precinct-wide manhunt failed to discover where the two had gone. From that day forward, Kano was empty inside, carrying out his duties as a detective with bleak detachment. That's just depressing. Ugh. Lost sight of Maria and Tateno. There's 53. When Kano caught sight of the man about to commit suicide, it was Minorikawa, he couldn't ignore the situation and impulsively rushed to the rescue, but lost track of Tateno and Maria as a result. If Minorikawa hadn't turned up on that rooftop, Kano would have been able to focus on his primary mission. Oh boy. But wait. What if I break out of the keep out and see what happens there? I guess I'll just get cuffed to the building and can't move. Game over. Yeah! Did it! Yeah, right, Dragon Ace. Lots of organ music tonight. From the edge of the rooftop, Minorikawa gazed down at the city below, no longer aware of the passage of time. No matter how hard he tried to write about the truth, ultimately he hadn't been able to change anything. So what had it all been for? The last ghost of his desire to keep the struggle left him as he considered how meaningless it had all been. Don't do anything rash! An intruder abruptly shattered his brooding silence. A man in a suit appeared behind him. Now he rushed closer, calling out with concern. Let's not be hasty, nobody's going to be happy. If he jumped? Minorikawa stepped to the very edge and cast his gaze straight down. That might not be a bad idea. Oh my god, Kano brought up the idea of jumping. Hell, maybe some part of him actually wanted to. Suddenly it felt like the natural course of action. From up here, the city looked like a miniature diorama of cars and people. It didn't quite seem real. Stop! Don't do it! Minorikawa took a step forward despite the stranger's words, feeling a splendid sense of liberation as he did so. He allowed his body to go limp, consigning himself to the fall. But just as he began to topple, he was abruptly yanked back. Don't go wasting your life, the stranger barked. The look on his face was outrageously solemn, and then for some reason he slapped a handcuff onto Minorikawa's right wrist. What? Before Minorikawa could react, the man locked the second cuff in the pair around the nearby fence. I promise I'll come back. Please just stay alive for a few minutes longer, okay? And with that, the guy darted away. What the hell? Minorikawa muttered. He found himself alone again, unable to go anywhere even if he wanted to. Feeling emptier than ever, he resumed his aimless vigil, staring out across Shibuya. And in the end, the man never did come back. Oh my god! Not even after the sun had set. Whoa. And night had fallen. And the next bleak morning came. Yo, this sucks. Oh, that's bad. Abandoned. Some guy, it was Kano of course, showed up out of nowhere, handcuffed Minorikawa, then left him to languish on the rooftop. It had looked to Kano like Minorikawa was contemplating suicide, an understandable mistake under the circumstances. Maybe now isn't the best time to reminisce about the past. Oh, that sucks. Woof. We have Maria and we have Achi. If this takes me to a bad end, then this will be Maria's last bad end in the game. I gotta wait for this dialogue to go by. Where's Hitomi? Why didn't you bring her? Tatena, why are you doing this? Is that really Maria? We remove the blindfold, and the first thing I see is the sky overhead. Oh, we'll find out where Tatena and Maria went. It's so bright that I have to lower my eyes, and then I spot someone in the distance. It's a man. There's a man standing on the edge of the roof of the building across the way. Ah! Momentarily forgetting my own situation, I cry out. Huh? The young man in front of me turns in surprise to see where I'm pointing. The man across the way is staring into the streets below, looking like he might jump at any moment. Detective Tatena will be right back. We can finish this after. The young man takes off, disappearing down the stairwell. Imagine that? You're a hostage at gunpoint, and the guy coming to save you is like, hold on, and just leaves. My heart pounds nervously in my chest as I gaze across at the other building. Then my captor, Tateno, as the other guy calls him, grabbed my arm. Let's go. Huh? Are we heading over there too? No. We're going somewhere else. I don't know where yet. Tateno's got his gun trained on me again. Yeah, right, DJ Gamer. There's a man on the wing of this building. Looks like I don't have any choice but to go with him. He nudges me on and we head for the stairs. I take a quick look back at the sky above the city. This may be the last time I ever see the sky. For some reason, that thought resounds inside my head. Ugh. Oh, we don't find out what happened to her. Ugh. Taken by the man with the cane. As soon as her blindfold was taken off, Maria spotted Minorikawa atop the building across the way. Kano rushed over there to stop what he thought was a potential suicide, and Tateno used the opportunity to abscond with his captive. Definitely a case of Minorikawa being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hey there, Daniel. This is so many brutal endings in a row. Achi? Oh, thank God I'm able to skip that stuff. That guy. Pretty sure he said his name was Kiryu? Back when Achi had been with SOS, he'd never have let a guy like that get away with acting all high and mighty. Suddenly, Achi heard a voice from behind him. Well, well. If it ain't our legendary founder. This guy's faces are the best all the time. An instant later, he took a hard blow to the side of the head. I was just out looking for some small fry, but it looks like I landed me a big one. Oh, that's rough. Achi's head swam, his vision fading in and out. Before he had a chance to recover, something smashed into his knee. Jesus. He lay crumpled on the ground, unable to retaliate as kicks and punches rained down on him. Even after Achi could no longer move, the beating didn't stop. His ruptured eardrums could barely make out the sound of Hitomi screaming. That's horrible. That is a bad end. Hitomi, run. Kiryu probably doesn't care about Hitomi at all. With his final plea silenced before it reached his lips, Achi felt his consciousness battered away. That's horrible, and it's completely out of nowhere. That is a terrible bad end. Kiryu's ambush, jeez. Kiryu turned up out of nowhere and gave Achi a beatdown with a piece of timber. But just before he attacked Achi, Kiryu had run into someone else. That person said something that changed what Kiryu did. The individual in question needs to say something different to ensure Kiryu doesn't go to Dogonzaka, while Achi and Hitomi are there. That sucked, man. Yeah, right, Dragon Ace? There's more blood than in the car accident? For real, though. Alright, Minorikawa depressed. Let's do this. I'll undo the damage here. Oh wait, I already screwed this up. I didn't. I was right at the choice the whole time. Embarrassing. Whoops. Stand up. And then Stumbling Man. Is it fun? Okay, now bad ending list. We actually got a bunch in a row, which is kind of great. So the bad ending list goes up to 63. Kano is done, ladies and gentlemen. Achi's done for now. Maria's done for now. We have one more from Minorikawa. Osawa's completely done. Wow. The only endings left in the game are Achi. I think that's it. Like, Achi. That's amazing. We have one more from Minorikawa this chapter. But after that, it's all Achi all the time, which is distressing. That means it's not all going to be the same bomb blew up for the 17th time again. So how do I get this bad ending? Kano. I need to do something. And again, this is an option I've never taken before, so we'll just see what this is. I'm excited. There we go. So Kano was worried about Sasayama and decided to visit him in the hospital. Huh, alright. I guess we'll see where this goes. As he was making his way toward the hospital, Kano spotted a girl sitting on the pedestrian overpass. Hey, Hana. She looked like she was on the verge of tears. Concerned, he stopped beside her. Are you waiting for someone? He asked. The girl simply bit her lip and said nothing. Are you lost? Do you need a policeman? The relatively low crime rate in Japan, combined with rather high police personnel numbers in Tokyo, mean that officers, particularly beat cops, often have plenty of bandwidth to deal with more minor issues. Nice. Again, the girl gave no answer. Where'd you come from? Kano tried. Still nothing. He had just decided to go and call for a female officer when the girl hesitatingly spoke at last. Heaven Publishing. After a little coaxing, she told him where that was. It turned out it was on the way to Shibuya Central Hospital, not too far from where they were now. Why don't I take you there then? Kano said. I'm already heading in that direction anyway. The girl seemed a bit reluctant at first, but eventually she agreed to go with Kano. Alright. Kano parted ways with the girl outside the building where Heaven Publishing was located. He noticed that she hesitated to enter at first, but eventually vanished inside. Kano's phone rang as he was about to continue on his way. When he peered at the incoming call display, his heart nearly stopped. There was Tateno's name. Kano quickly pressed the button to accept the call. Detective Tateno? Detective Tateno, is that you? There was a whole mountain of things Kano wanted to ask. Just what had he been doing this whole time? Why had he let Alcarawan go free? And what had happened to Hitomi? But while he was trying to decide what question to pose first, Tateno spoke. I've secured Maria Osawa. What? The word came out as a startled gasp. Detective Tateno, you have to bring her here ASAP. Right now, she's... Tateno cut him off. You need to bring Hitomi Osawa to my location at once. I believe you've already read this, but it's a different environment. Hitomi? Osawa? Yes. I heard over the wireless that the man from the U.S. Embassy had her in custody. Kano hadn't been listening to the most recent wireless traffic. Apparently Stanley had managed to find Hitomi. But what was Tateno getting at here? Wait, hold on. What for? I mean, why do you need me to bring Hitomi Osawa to you? There was no reply. Detective Tateno, answer me. Please? Tateno replied as if he hadn't heard Kano's questions. There's an office building in Nanpeidai called South Hill. I'll be waiting for you on the rooftop. If you don't bring her, I'll kill Maria. With that grisly warning, he hung up. Kano's hand went limp. His phone slipped from his grasp and fell to the floor. It's the same thing as before. But the important thing is that we traveled with Hana. So Kano just moves right along. But you know who doesn't? Minorikawa's last ending, baby. Yeah, I can't let these scumbags kill his daughter. Aha! Before Minorikawa could sign, Sagawa startled him with a sudden exclamation. She's just standing right there. Looking up, Minorikawa saw the loan sharks had seen. Little Hana standing by the door. Get her! On it, boss! Ozu and Sagawa rushed at the girl. Run! Minorikawa shouted. Hana bolted right back out the door, but Ozu managed to snatch her up just as he reached the stairs. Let's be on our way, shall we? A vile grin came to Ozu's cruel face as he headed down the stairwell. Stop! Let her go! That sucks. Minorikawa rushed after them, trying to grab the girl, but Sagawa drove a punch right into his face. Oof. Was that downstairs? Ugh. And Hana's just like, well. Ugh. The pain staggered him. Nevertheless, he managed to press on. Get your hands off of that girl. Oh, that sucks. Shut your damn mouth! Something hard slammed into his chest. His vision went dark. He felt himself slipping from consciousness. Just before he blacked out, he heard Hana's voice. I'm sorry, Uncle Minorikawa. Ah, that sucks! Sorry? No, I'm the one who should apologize. But before his thoughts got any further, Minorikawa passed out. Ah, man, that ending sucks. Bad end, you're damn right. Hana gets caught, and now she's gonna probably get the debt, and there are ways of dealing with that. Hana showed up at the office only to get caught by the moneylenders, and Sagawa drop-kicked Minorikawa into unconsciousness when he tried to save her. It turns out Hana had been at the police station just before this, trying to decide if she should tell the police her father had been killed in the explosion. Then someone brought her to Heaven Publishing, which was clearly a mistake. Yuck. But wait! Yeah, bad time 16 o'clock block, baby! Now, how do I settle this? Minorikawa... 1615, was that it? Oh, that's right, yeah, I had to have someone else activate this. Kano, 1625. So I'll just go back to A. Although, let's just see what happens if I choose option C. Trying to call Sasayama's wife. Just because I'm curious. He called home phone, nobody picked up. Maybe she's gone to the hospital, so he called Shibuya Hospital and asked them to transfer to Mrs. Sasayama. I'll go back to A after this, though, just to see what happens. After a little while, a woman's voice came to the receiver. Yes, this is Mrs. Sasayama. Her voice was thin and reedy. My name's Shinya Kano. I work with your husband on the force. What happened? He didn't know what to say. He couldn't find the words. I wish that I'd been there when he'd gone to make that arrest, he blurted out at last. I should have tried to get there and back him up sooner, if I hadn't been too late. He trailed off, hoping he hadn't said too much. Sasayama's wife answered in her gentle, quavering voice. Thank you so much for your concern. I'm glad that my husband is lucky enough to have a colleague like you. No, I couldn't. I married a detective, Mr. Kano. I've prepared myself for the possibility that something like this might happen. But she certainly didn't sound like she was prepared. Kano felt a biting pain in his chest. Your husband gave me something to hold on to for you. I'd like to give it to you if I can. Oh? Well, certainly, but I'd like to stay here by your side today if possible. Of course. I'll head on over to the hospital myself then. I hope you don't mind if I pay a visit? Oh, of course not. Sorry to trouble you like this. Thank you so much. Kano hung up and hurried out of the precinct. Huh, alright. I wonder if I could still hit up anything new this way. Oh. Well, there's a problem. So we don't want to do that. Still Well, it's to be continued. But still, just to make sure, I'll do option A, but it doesn't look like anything different happens. Boom. Alright, and now we go for the ultra bad endings. 73, 74, 77, and the very last one, 78. So let me see how we can get those. Because we have to skip a block to get those. So 73, 74. I'm already flaking. 73, 74, 77, 78? Yes. Okay. 73, 74, 77, 78. So let me just see what those are really quickly, and then that'll be the last of it, which is super cool. So the 18 o'clock block, last one in the game. 3, 4, 7, and 8. I mean, I said the last ending in the game. It's the last ending I haven't gotten. The super duper last ending is 85, but we got that a while ago. So bad end number 73, I want to go to 1905. So I'm going to have to do some scrolling. I apologize. It's a little dizzying. Oh. How do I complete the 17 o'clock block? Oh no. This is new? Oh, that's right, a common name. That's right, I have to go... I'll deal with the weird ending I was trying to get later. Because I have to. I mean, I have to select Endo, I know that. Oh, that's what it was. Jump to Endo. Maybe that was my problem. Yeah. But I could already select that, though. Am I missing something? There's end. Probably fine. Probably fine. Do I just have to go through with this for Minorikawa's thing? There's gotta be something I'm missing here. I guess I'll just scroll and see what happens. I'll just select Tanaka. I guess that's what it is. I had to guess correctly. Was that all it was? Yeah, we're good. Alright, did it. So, Kano at 1905. Let's go. Alphard flees. I have to protect the lives of the people nearby. So I do that. And from there... Achi. And I did it. And now I just go through and see what happens. Wow, is he so confident? Alright. The desperate shout had come from Hitomi. She'd spotted a vial sailing in a high arc away from all the SOS members. Hey there, Nathan. Damn it! Achi launched into motion, ignoring the searing pain in his leg, but the falling vial was so far away. They were done for. He was sure of it. Oh. A pair of hands shot out and safely grabbed the falling vial. It was Kano. The tension drained from Achi's body. We did it. We didn't break a single one. Damn it! Kano cursed under his breath as he stared out into the throng. Alphard had disappeared. They hadn't been able to capture him after all. This is when they still thought that, Leyland was Alphard. Which meant they'd lost their last chance to get the password for the lab. They hadn't just lost, they'd failed utterly. But we did everything we could have, right? We didn't make any wrong calls. We'll just have to leave everything to Kanan. Have to trust that she'll be able to save Maria. Achi stared up into the night sky, trying to reassure himself. Ugh, that's kind of a bleak ending. Ew, bad ends. Failed capture, and remember, this is the last block, so there are no hints. That was a fast one. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me go back to Kano and choose differently. Oh, whoops, I gotta actually choose. Chase after Palmer. Okay, now, bad end 74. To do that, I need to go to... Whoa, been a little while. Tateno. Look at that. So, 1855. Do I send Kanan in? So we'll see where this option takes us, right? What was the right call? Let her into the lab. Big mistake. So we've done that. And then I go right back to Achi. This the same time thing. It's so annoying. He was going to release the virus. Oh my god. Achi would have charged off in pursuit as well, but his wounded leg made that impossible. Get him, detective. He murmured under his breath, "We're counting on you." Uh-oh. It cuts the music. Achi's cell phone rang. It was Stanley. Mr. Stanley? What's going on? Something isn't right. Huh? I can't get in touch with Tateno, Stanley said. What about on your end? Anything unusual going on? No problems here for the moment. Detective Kano managed to catch Alphard. Did he get the password? Dunno. I think he just finished his interrogation. Could you put me on the line with Kano? Yeah, give me a sec. Achi turned to Kano and shouted, "Detective!" Kano turned to look at him as he was flipping his own cell phone closed. "I've got Stanley on the line. He says the Detective Tateno..." Oh, jeez. Before he could complete his sentence, a massive explosion blasted Achi off his feet. Tiny bits of metal tore through his arms, legs, and torso. Woof. He crashed to the ground and crumpled like a tattered rag. These are some bad endings. There were screams coming from all directions. But as Achi started to fade from consciousness, the voices got softer and softer. Through the haze of pain, he saw a bloodied arm stretched out before him. He saw a hand that had been clasped with his hand all day long. The fingers feebly reached for him, and Achi intertwined them with his own. It took the very last of his strength. Then, both hands subsided into stillness. Man, that's depressing. Ugh, this game hits hard. Yeah, right, Winterburn, yet another mysterious explosion ending. Yup, there it is. Thanks, game. Never gets old. Alright, now... what did I do to get to this point? Oh, it was Tateno. Send Kanan in? No, let's not do that. I have a better idea. Let's not send Kano in. Or Kanan in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, last endings. Y'all ready for this? Kano. 1910. Where to handle the bomb? We are so close. In a minivan, same ploy. Achi! Short end of the stick, Achi. Every single time. Where could the bomb be hidden then? Achi scanned the area but didn't spot any place that seemed plausible. Then his eyes happened to alight on the attaché case the decoy had discarded. Could it be? No sooner had his suspicions been aroused than he heard Kano call out to him. Achi, it's in a minivan! Look for a minivan! Aw, that sucks. A minivan? Alphard was going to use a minivan again? Now that he thought about it, Achi realized it made a certain amount of sense. Hitomi had very nearly been killed by the other minivan that had exploded that afternoon. If Kanan hadn't happened to show up when she had, Hitomi probably wouldn't have survived that first bomb. A lot of innocent people had been caught up in the blast as well. That was how big the explosion had been. If something like that happened again here, in the middle of the scramble, they wouldn't be so lucky a second time. If there were a minivan explosion here and now, Hitomi would be killed for sure. It would probably take out Suzumu and the rest of the gang too, and even Achi himself. Anxiously, he took another look around. There were no minivans parked nearby. He did spot several minivans along one of the roads leading away from the scramble. Kana was rushing around inspecting one vehicle after the other. Nobody move, Achi shouted to Hitomi and Suzumu. There's a bomb planted in a car. Make sure you stay away from any vehicles. The others gathered wordly around him, everyone but Kano, who continued his mad rush in search of the bomb. Achi went to go join him, but Hitomi grabbed a hold of his arm. Achi. She shook her head. But I have to... A fierce shout interrupted him. Let me go! I can't be here right now! It was their captive, the decoy Alphard, suddenly in an uproar. He was sweating profusely and his face had gone ghost white. It's... Monty Python's... look, just run! Get away from that thing! That thing? Achi followed the decoy's gaze. Was that it? Was that where the bomb was planted? It all happened so quickly. Achi didn't even have time to issue a warning. No sooner had he located the bomb than he was blasted off his feet. Damn it. If only I'd noticed a little sooner. As he spiraled into an abyss of regret, Achi lost consciousness for the last time. I wonder if this ending's going to be called Mysterious Explosion. Guys, what do you think? Well, the bomb explodes, fair enough. I guess it's not mysterious anymore, we know it's a bomb. Like we knew before it went off. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last bad end in the game, I think. I'm excited. Hey look, it's the Thing music. Decision-making time. Ran for Achi anyway. Here we go! I'm sorry, Suzune. Looks like I won't be able to keep visiting you in the hospital anymore. You'll forgive me though, right? I stuck it through to the end just like you told me to. I didn't call it quits partway through. And so whatever you do, you can't let that disease beat you. Don't you dare let it beat you. Achi drew a deep breath as he finished his solitary little prayer. He couldn't have more than a few seconds left to go. A firm hand grabbed hold of Achi's shoulder. Let go of the case, now! It was Kano. What the hell are you doing, man? Why don't you come back here? Just come with me, we have to get out of here. Kano's grip didn't let up in the slightest. Look, you need to run, Achi shouted. I can't move. He clenched his jaw in frustration. It was all too crazy for him to think straight. They shouldn't even be having this argument when the bomb could explode at any moment. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Kano growled in frustration. Okay, you can't move on your own. So I'm going to help you move, and unless you want to kill me too, you better cooperate. They didn't have much time left. Damn it, don't be a fool, man. Achi couldn't help but curse. A sharp pain shot through his limp right leg as he lurched to his feet. Kano shouted in his ear, "Come on, run!" Achi didn't have the luxury of thinking anymore, he just had to move his feet. Hitomi cried out from across the scramble, "Achi!" Oh. That sucks. As the explosion tore through him, he was glad that her voice was the last thing in this world he'd ever hear. Ugh. And that was Achi's final thought. And that was the final bad end, I think. The bomb explodes. Uh-huh. Yeah, the worst is over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it through the worst of it. We actually did it. We got every bad end in the game. I don't know how long the ending I was looking for is, so I'm a little hesitant to run into it now. And also, I'm still not 100% sure we can access it. I might need the special episodes. I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is just do some special episodes to lighten the mood a little bit. I think that'll make me feel just a little bit better. So let me go and see what special episodes I need. The last one we had was that embarrassing posturing internet fight, which was a riot. So now let me see what I need to do to access the next ending. For this, I can go to Osawa way early. I apologize for all the scrolling. I'm sorry. It's really disorienting to me as well. Actually, I went a little far. Here we are. Osawa at 12:35. A father asking for help. This one's actually a little involved. These people need professional help, so I'm choosing a wrong option here. Kano. 12:40. Upon reaching Wait Up. I gotta find Wait Up. Let me see how far that goes. I can go through a couple of dialogue things and mash my way through. But I need Wait Up! If it isn't Mr. Toyama. These freaking guys. Don't you try and play dumb with us. Don't you ahaha me, man. Alright, Wait Up. There it is. Okay. We're getting there. Wait up, Kano shouted. So now I gotta do right, right, circle, 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 right. I did it. It's Hana. Perhaps growing up means having to give up some things. It's no fun playing with you, Hana. Go home. She'd probably never be able to forget those words, even when she had grown to adulthood. Hana Toyama loved playing hide-and-seek. None of her friends could find her when she was hiding, and on the rare occasion when she was it, she found everyone surprisingly fast. When it came to hide-and-seek, Hana was the best of the best. One might say that she had an exceptional talent. In time, however, that talent turned into resentment. Her outstanding knack for the game made hide-and-seek pretty boring. Nobody could find her when she was hiding, and nobody stood a chance of hiding from her when she was it. And how could that possibly be fun for anyone? It's no fun playing with you, Hana. Go home. Anyone whose best friend said something like that would feel pretty wounded. How about I go easy on you then? Hana said to her pal Rico. I don't want anyone to go easy. We'll have more fun when you're gone, so just go home. After that, Hana didn't play with her friends anymore. If she could bear up alone, she thought, the rest of them would enjoy themselves more. And besides, she never wanted to hear anyone tell her to go home again. Her father never made it back from work until late at night. This left Hana to spend long afternoons and evenings by herself at home. Around this time when she started writing poetry to help her fill the time. But as for her hide-and-seek aspirations, those took a sharp turn one day at lunchtime. Oh man, the kid who just transferred into the class next door is amazing! Shigeo, one of the more excitable boys in Hana's class, was pressed up close to the classroom window. Man, look at how awesome his reflexes are! He pointed out into the schoolyard. The boys in the class next door were playing dodgeball. One of the teams was down to just a single player. Oh wow, the new kid's the last one left. The opposing team was doing its best to pelt the new student with rubber balls. He managed to avoid them all with nimble ease. Shigeo wasn't the only one held captive by the new kid's performance. Soon a whole flock of school children had crowded up to the window. Caught up in the flow of the crowd, Hana found herself standing by the windowsill. I hear he was hide-and-seek champion back at his old school, Shigeo said. Hana perked up. They say he could find anyone in under 5 minutes. The classroom let out a collective wow of astonishment. Getting in under the 5-minute mark was pretty impressive. For Hana to get a similar time, she knew she'd need to go all out. I hear he said he's going to make himself a hide-and-seek legend here at our school too, Shigeo chirped. No, he can't, Hana shouted, before she could think better of herself. The classroom fell silent at her abrupt outburst. He can't be hide-and-seek champion. Hana could be stubborn in her own way. She wasn't going to let someone else win the title of hide-and-seek champ if she wasn't part of the games. But Hana couldn't ask to play hide-and-seek with the other kids anymore. Putting her foot down now wasn't going to do any good. Maybe you want to let him know that then, Hana? This time it was none other than Rico who had spoken. Let's play hide-and-seek again. We can invite the new kid to play. Hana could hardly have asked for a better suggestion. Yeah, right, Winterburn. Classic Spike Chinsoft. Hana Toyama. Ultimate hide-and-seek player. Alright, I'll go up against the new kid. Hana's eyes gleamed with an almost feral determination. The competitive spirit that she'd locked away had escaped into the open. And if I win, we'll know who the real hide-and-seek champion is. What's this kid's name? Woo, go, Taro! That was amazing, Taro! That's familiar. Is that the kid who gave up his heart for Suzune? It was Shigeo, face pressed against the window, calling out unthinkingly. Taro. Several days later, the children assembled at the park after school. Hana and Taro, along with Shigeo and Rico, stood in a circle. I've heard about you, Taro said with a challenging sneer. Are you freaking serious with this? Hana, huh? Pfft, what a dumb name. That's rich coming from someone named Taro, Hana shot back. Let's do this fair and square, guys, Rico said, keeping her tone nice and reasonable. Shigeo could hardly contain his excitement. Oh, this is going to be so cool, bah! The rules were simple. When Rico or Shigeo were it, whoever was able to stay hidden longer, Hana or Taro, would win a point. If either Hana or Taro were it, the other player would win a point if they managed to be the last player found. Heh, Taro snickered. Try not to cry when I win, okay? You might want to start thinking of excuses for when you lose, Hana replied. The four used rock, paper, scissors to decide who would be it. There was a long series of ties. What? Each time Shigeo would blurt out, oh, wow! Hana was just about to suggest that they split into two groups of two, when the stalemate broke. Oh, wow! Shigeo alone had thrown something different, and so he was it. It was time for the first round. Oh, I thought it meant ties for hiding and seeking, not freaking junkin'. Hana employed a hiding while moving tactic, skillfully shifting position to stay in Shigeo's blind spots. She didn't sense Taro anywhere nearby. While she stayed hidden, wondering just where he could be, a rock came hurtling through the bushes right in front of her. Hearing the rustling sounds, Shigeo came running in Hana's direction. Damn. Oh, wow, I found you, Hana! Ah! Shigeo's voice broke into falsetto as he shouted. Oh, I found you, Hana! Wait, did Taro do that? Hana huffed to herself, still vexed by the rock. Hide-and-seek became a much more complex affair after a player had mastered a few tricks. Hana's hiding while moving technique was one of them. Another such trick was to throw a rock far away from yourself in order to draw the seeker's attention away. Taro must have done that, and the side effect was that Hana had gotten caught. Hana could tell she wasn't going to be able to coast through this competition. If she let her guard down, she'd wind up losing. She had to change her approach. Victory would be hers. She was not going to give up her spot as the school's hide-and-seek champion. A new fire burned in her eyes. It was time for the second round. Once again, Shigeya wound up it after losing rock, paper, scissors. Things were quite different than they'd been in the first round. Right from the outset, Hana and Taro resorted to rock throwing. Shigeya was easily misdirected by the sound of stones landing here and there. "Come on, guys, this is dangerous," Riko exclaimed, standing up from the grass after a rock whizzed by her and winding up the first to get caught. Soon afterwards, a clumsy misstep on Taro's part settled the round. He was about to throw another rock when he accidentally stepped on a dry stick with a loud crack. "Found you, Taro! Woohoo!" Now it was 1-1. After that, the competition became a steady back and forth between the two. With each new round, the winner and loser kept switching off, with no clear victor emerging. Shigeya and Riko were starting to get fed up with things, and so it was decided that the next round would be winner-take-all, settle the match. "No way am I going to lose," Hana vowed inwardly. One final round. Taro was it. Okay, I was gonna say, some say that Hana and Taro are still hiding to this day. Taro closed his eyes and began counting. 1, 2, 3. The others scattered at once. Hana quickly hid herself in the bed of a truck parked along the road that bounded one edge of the park. 8, 9, 10. Taro finished counting and stood up. Just then, the truck's engine revved up. I knew it. Huh? The truck took off with Hana still aboard. Continued in Teruo Toyama's episode. Really? That's a first. I'm excited. To be continued. That's a new one. Wow. Wow. Huh. And we didn't even get a little flavor. Like, did you like that reading? Wow. Alright. Let's undo this little decision then. That was interesting. Ugh, she has that stare of death. Okay. Alright, well, the good news is that I'm able to continue the stories anyway, although I don't know which story is the next one I'm going to unlock. So 1340. Boom. What to do with the cat? Suit. It's time I skin this cat. Boom. And now we go Achi. 1350. We go straight into a bad end. Oh, I actually have to... Like, this is the ending where we get freaking, like, murdered by Tateno. Maybe it's just a cat? This is, like, the horror ending. I love how even looking for the goofy special episodes, I have to go for the grim endings. This is a real downer of a stream. But at least there's a little bit of levity. With the blood on his mouth for no damn reason. Right, circle, 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 right, circle. I did it! Taku Okado. So this is not the next story. This is, hey there, Space Soft. This is going to be a completely different story, so who knows how the hide-and-seek saga is going to end. I see you almost every day, it feels like. I wonder if you're aware of that. No, I'm certain you haven't noticed me. You're probably no more aware of me than you are of a stone on the side of the road, but I can't just sit here and say nothing. Not any longer. Please go out with me. Oh boy. I'm very serious. Please give me your response. Your secret admirer. As he finished up his love letter, Taku Okado let out a deep breath. After hours of racking his brain, he succeeded in spewing his honest feelings onto the page. The letter might have made him come off as something of a stalker, but hey, that was part of the charm. Oh, nope. The important thing was that she know how strong his feelings were. Okada worked at a convenience store close to the Shibuya station. A month prior, he'd happened to meet a young woman out in the front of the shop, and he'd fallen for her at first sight. Hey there, Danish. She didn't have the bearing of an office worker. She must have been a college student, he decided. After that first encounter, she came by nearly every day at 12:15 to buy lunch. A raisin sandwich and a coffee milk. That was her usual. On the rare occasion she brought strawberry milk instead, Okada would worry that something bad might have happened. Okay, guy. But despite their regular meetings across the counter and the yearning looks he always gave her, theirs remained the relationship of employee and customer. Resolved to change that, Okada had decided to pen the love letter. He needed to become a man before his 23rd birthday. Why? Now the issue was timing. When should he hand over the letter? Should he give it to her when she came to the register to pay? No, that was too risky. If the manager spotted him, he'd be in for a world of trouble. Should he go after her when she left the shop then? No, that was a no-go too. If he left the register unmanned, he could wind up getting fired for it. What was the right move then? As he pulled at his hair, trying to think of something, he was hit with a flash of inspiration. When he was bagging her items, he could slip the letter in along with them. That way it wouldn't draw unwanted attention from the manager or the other customers. He did a little dance there in his room, rather pleased with this idea. And soon enough, the time came for him to put his plan into action. Okada had been acting nonchalant all through his morning shift. He greeted customers in a more lively tone than usual. There was even a legitimate note of appreciation when he told them thank you after they were done shopping. And then, she came into the shop. The place was bustling with customers who'd come in to buy lunch. The young woman arrived right on schedule. With raisin sandwich and coffee milk in hand, she walked over to the register counter. It was only then that Okada realized a flaw in his plan. The shop had 2 registers. There was only a 50-50 chance that she'd queue up at his. Whatever, dude, it doesn't have to be today. This one. Come to this line. Okada tried to guide her with his thoughts, but the young woman got on the line for the other register. Well, it's not much, but I guess I'll grab one of these triangle packs of milk. A man in a trench coat picked up one of the small beverage packages and approached Okada's register. Maybe I should give up for today and try again tomorrow. But no sooner had the thought come than another voice welled up within him. Why do you always give up so easily? Are you going to be satisfied just gazing at her from afar forever? Don't you want to change your life? Isn't that why you wrote that love letter in the first place? The fires of determination blazed forth in Okado's eyes. That's it! Random trenchcoat guy, I'm giving this letter to someone, and if it's you, then I don't care, as long as it happens. Whoops, I tripped, he blurted a bit too obviously, bumping into the cashier next to him. The impact sent the money inside the register scattering across the floor. That's not good. His coworker grumbled in irritation as he bent down to start picking up coins. His ruse had been a success. Oh, hello there, Psychosius. Pardon me, Okada called out. Next customer in line, please. The young woman switched over to the line for his register. The plan was back on track. The man in the trench coat stepped up to the counter. Okada was a mask of calm as he scanned the barcode for the customer's milk. By the way, I have one question, the man said. That'll be 105 yen. The young woman was in line right behind this guy. Same as always, she didn't look Okada's way. You guys still sell strawberry milk here? Okada took the man's money. Exact change, I see. He looked over and saw that the young woman had her usual raisin sandwich and coffee milk in hand. I used to be a huge fan of that stuff, you see. Thank you very much, sir. Next customer. That's... Okada's being kind of rude here. Soon she would be right in front of him. The bag with the love letter inside had already been prepared there underneath the counter. All he had to do was slip the raisin sandwich and coffee milk inside, and it'd be mission accomplished. There's no guarantee she's going to notice that, though. Your total comes to 284 yen, Okada said with a slight lilt. The young woman flashed a faint smile. She pulled a 1,000 yen bill from her wallet. All right, this was it. Okada went to grab the bag with the love letter inside. Oh, that's all right, the young woman said. I don't need a bag. Oh, no! What? Okada stammered like a complete imbecile. Man, that's blunt. But without a bag, your stuff. The woman unslung a bag of her own from underneath her arm. Oh, no! She'll never need a bag. I don't know, just forget the plan, just hand it over. It was a reusable, eco-friendly shopping bag. A reusable bag? But when? How come all of a sudden you... Okada stammered. The woman smiled brightly. I care an awful lot about the environment. She placed the item she'd purchased into the bag, then briskly departed from the shop. A receipt, though? He could still sneak that in the bat. Too late. Okada crumbled the love letter in his hand and let out a big, dreary sigh. That's just the end? Ah, man. Well, alright. I'll do one more before closing the stream. What did I want to do to get to this point? Oh, right, the skin the cat. That is kind of funny, though. It'll all come down to this. I don't need a bag. Boom. Boom. And I like how this cat's staying in the bag. Like, I love how that's like a tenuous connection. Alright, so let's go to special episode 20. And then I'll wrap it up. So, Kano. Oh, I gotta go to Kano first. 1420. The Syndicate's goals. It's the virus. Now I go to Osawa, 1420. So I guess this really isn't going to be the conclusion of the hide-and-seek story, because I don't see it connecting to, like, an Osawa thing. So now I need to find Osawa imagined bodies dropping left and right. That's freaking grim. Well, actually, well, we know we gotta get the call. They want the virus. I want to get to the point where Osawa imagines, like, he understands that the virus is what is wanted, so he can get to the point where he imagines bodies dropping, as grim as that sounds. Ka-tong! What are you talking about? Oh, I could have passed the jump. Oh well. Okay, I know what it's after. The virus. Okay, now Osawa understands, so I need to see the part where it says he imagined bodies dropping left and right, which is freaking grim. Uh-huh. Do not look away. These are your crimes. They were a preview of the tragedy that was yet to unfold. Okay, we're getting there. Can you imagine that? All the cops are like, your daughter's been kidnapped, and Osawa comes out, there's a killer virus, everybody's gonna die. Like, what? So we gotta go to the bad end for this. Oh my god. That's so bad. Hey, Uniqlo! Alright, so now, right circle, right? Circle, circle, circle. Did it! Let's get the hell out of this grim scenario, please, thank you. Masayatake. Oh, her! The grudge woman at the Chinese restaurant! Yes! Ni hao, welcome to Imabiki Chinese restaurant. I'm Masayatake. Or Take. I work here. Oh, what's that? You think that's a strange name? Yeah, I guess you're right. It is a weird name. Imabiki Chinese restaurant. So it's kind of a long story, but there was this video game called Imabikiso. Never heard of it. It involves a mysterious drug called Vision that causes you to be cursed by a woman in black when you take it, and... Okay, yeah, it's a long story. I'll quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, the point is there's this game called Imabikiso, and the restaurant opened to commemorate its release. I wonder if she's cursed, and that's why she's all grudge every time we play the game and get to the Chinese restaurant. Good night, Spacesoft. A lot of the menu items tie in with the game, so let me introduce you to the mysterious charms of Imabiki Chinese restaurants. Here, have a cup of oolong tea. You can sip on that while you listen. The food here is cooked using a closely guarded 4,000-year-old Chinese technique known as the Huo Jiao, I probably butchered that, charring method. I love that this one she's directly talking to us. China is said to be home to 8 great regional cuisines, and so the menu is divided into 8 broad sections. But each of these is cooked using the Huo Jiao method to bring out unique and striking tastes. Oh, fuck, if on the game really does exist, that's kind of rad. You want to know more about the Huo Jiao method? Okay. I shall tell you a part of the ancient secret. So, you know how if you burn something just right, you get this nice, tasty crunch? Oh, it's another visual novel? Thanks, Fakafan. But if you burn it even a tiny bit too much, it becomes a nasty, inedible mess. And so then you screwed up, and sadly you just have to toss the food away. The Huo Jiao method isn't like that. It involves charring the ingredients through until they're pitch black. Huh? Why are you giving me that look? You don't think food like that could possibly be edible? Well, just hear me out until the end, alright? The offerings on our menu are things most everyone should be familiar with. Sweet and sour pork, pot stickers, shumai, green pepper steak, stir-fried shrimp and chili sauce, Peking duck, all pretty typical examples of Chinese food, right? But here, at Imabiki Chinese Restaurant, we char all of these dishes until they're truly full of flavor. You can even choose whether you want your charring done rare, medium, or well done. Well done makes the food look like a burnt lump of charcoal, but provides an exceptional texture and aroma. Try it once and you'll be hooked. I bet you'll want to swing by our restaurant every day. The secret to making everything so delicious are the herbs we used. I would say the secret is, actually. Is the herbs, which are an essential part of the Huojiao method. These herbs are extremely rare. People who taste them say it's like they've been transported to another world. What herbs are these, you ask? That's a trade secret, I'm afraid. Oh, I can't wait for you to try some. Once you've had them, I'm sure you'll never forget. We have a lot of regular customers, and a lot of students from nearby universities come here as well. Oh, and what perfect timing. Here's one of our regulars now, Hiroki Makimura. Ah, don't be like that, Hiroki. Say something. Ever since eating here, everything I eat or drink has this bitter taste. See? What did I tell you? Eating here gets you hooked. And it isn't just bitter flavors. Lately, I can see everything. So, like, the game, I'm sure if I played this game, I would appreciate this more, but at least it's cool that the Shibuya Scramble at least somewhat sets up the connection. What was that? The woman in black. I can see her. Well, let's let him finish mumbling as he finds his way to his seat. Hiroki's looking a bit unwell today. Look, here's another one of our regulars now. This is Masato Watanabe. Mind sharing a word or two with us, Masato? Rather than obtain sublime pleasure, the woman in black will burn you to your very bones. Well, I'm not sure what that all means. We're going to die. You, me, charred, twisted bodies. Ahem, never mind these, eccentricities. Since the food here is themed around a horror game, the customers tend to get in the spirit of things is all. Anyway, don't look so nervous. Let me show you to your seat. What? You look like you have something you want to say. You think I'm hiding something? I'm surprised. I didn't think you'd notice. That's all right, though. I'll tell you everything I've been keeping from you. Like I said, make sure to hear me out until the very end. And then you will be cursed. Cursed just like Hiroki and Masato. Oh, I'm just messing with you. Did I spook you? There's no need to worry. Hey there, loco dude. Of course you're not going to get cursed. Because, you see, you already are. Don't you remember that oolong tea you drank? It was steeped with those special herbs I mentioned. I suppose now I could tell you what it's called. What you drank is tea of Imabikiso, the searing herbs of hatred. Hee hee. You can hear a voice, can't you? A woman's voice, dry and raspy. Go on, sit down. Here's your seat. You're never going to escape, so you may as well accept it now. Now then, let's start over. Welcome to Imabiki Chinese Restaurant. That's such a weird story. What the hell? I was cursed. Weird. Well, you know what? One last special episode. Oh, so charred bodies left and right. Okay, I get it. One last special episode, and then we will knock out both bad endings we've been missing, and I, for one, am excited. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, Chiri ate everything. Did she lift the curse? I don't freaking know. Maybe. It's Hitomi. Okay, second to last episode, ladies and gentlemen. We are really... We're getting there. For real. So, 1430, Maria. Some new pickup trick? Hide someplace. Bad ending. Achi. Losing sight of Itomi. So, 2 guys bullying some frail old man. Yeah, okay, a few screens down. If we're talking about bullying a frail old man, then maybe this will be the conclusion of the hide-and-seek story? Maybe? I guess we'll find out, but this is going to conclude the stream after this story. Now that we've been cursed. No, Insane Buffoon, that woman was the grudge before the Cheery ever got there. I don't know about going mad, though. Maybe you're right. Okay, good. It's the screen after this one. Don't make us do nothing we'll both regret. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The big, right, circle, circle, right, circle. There it is. I don't know how I got it wrong the first time. Or the second time. We did it! It's probably going to be hide and seek, ladies and gentlemen. Taro Toyama. A man who survives on the battlefield that is journalism. This story takes place right after the founding of Heaven Publishing. In a certain high-class residential neighborhood in Tokyo, Toyama hid in the shadow of a telephone pole, an infrared camera in his hand. He eyed the entrance of the upscale Japanese restaurant across the street through the viewfinder. Yeah, nice Chekhov gun with that fire extinguisher. Yeah, indeed, Fakafan. Ugh, I'm so sleepy. How many days had it been now? How much time and money had he spent in getting this far? And how little did he have to show for it? He felt a pit of emptiness and despondency open up inside him. But he couldn't give up now. This was the one good lead he had to go on. Toyama had been closing in on a big scoop. There were persistent rumors about a member of the reigning political party involved somehow with the head of the Shiramenegume Yakuza syndicate. If the stories turned out to be true, it could lead to a major upheaval in the government. A party that had held power for quite some time would probably fall from grace in dramatic fashion. The public wouldn't stand idly by. If it became well known that people in the government were in bed with the Yakuza, there would be a national uproar, with international repercussions. Japan's reputation on the world stage might well become mud overnight. A scandal like that probably wasn't in the country's best interest. But the alternative was surely worse. The infection needed to be located quickly and then excised. And the only one who could expose that infection is me. Toyama's smoldering sense of purpose blazed up once again. But his target was doing a good job of not giving himself away. Toyama was certain that the Diet member and a high-ranked Yakuza used this restaurant for their meetings, but neither had shown himself since he'd started a stakeout. Oh, so it's another sort of hide-and-seek thing, maybe? Well, or maybe just neither had shown himself. I don't know. Had word of his activities been leaked? No, that can't be. He'll definitely come back here. Toyama was certain of it. But despite all his waiting, he hadn't had the slightest cause to click the shutter on his camera. What are you doing? A voice asked suddenly from behind him. Toyama whirled around to see a familiar face. It was a reporter who had written for a rival paper back when Toyama worked for the Central Times. Are you on a stakeout? Sweat beaded along Toyama's back. The newcomer glanced cautiously to either side before leaning in to whisper into Toyama's ear. You waiting on the Yakuza boss, the Diet man? Toyama's eyes went wide. How did you know about that? This was supposed to be an exclusive scoop that nobody else had caught wind of. My colleagues and I all know about it. It's too big a lead not to have heard of, but the top brass has forbidden anyone from looking into it. Toyama's heart sank. He worked so hard, come so far, and in the end it didn't even matter, all just to get his hands on some info that everyone else in the business already had. And not only did they have it, they'd already decided not to publish it because of the risks involved. I'm telling you this for your own good, Toyama. You need to drop this one. You must be joking. Do you know what will happen if I just let this slide? Toyama wrote articles because he needed to put food on the table, but he was also motivated by a strong sense of justice. Journalism and justice had to go hand in hand. Come on, Toyama, you're not just some upstart kid anymore. The man frowned like a disapproving schoolteacher. Toyama bristled. At least I'm not the one sacrificing the truth to protect the status quo. Look, if you want to make fun of me, go right ahead. I got 2 kids and a loan in the house I just bought. Toyama practically lunged at the other fellow. Damn it, man, have you no sense of pride? Whoa, hey, hold on. Let me finish. The man pulled free of Toyama's grasp. I came to find you because I have a scoop for 4-star General Gossip. Huh? Toyama stared back at him in disbelief. I bet you this guy is lying just to get Toyama off the case. I am not allowed to write about this, but this business still has to go public, right? Wait, so you're... Yeah. I'm giving you the info I've got. He and Toyama shared a conspiratorial look. Huh. There's a warehouse down by the docks you might want to check out. Toyama lurked near one corner of the dockyard warehouse. So, is this where Hana's going to get dropped off? A lukewarm breeze wafted against his cheek. How many minutes? No, how many hours had he been waiting? Had he gotten a bogus tip? He had half a mind to give up, but stubbornly he continued to wait. Finally, a black car approached. Toyama hurriedly slipped behind a shipping container and readied his camera. The vehicle parked near the water, the lights cut out, and the engine fell silent. The windows were tinted, concealing whoever was inside. A few minutes passed, and then Toyama heard the sound of a small pleasure yacht humming across the waves. Its lights drew closer and closer, making a beeline for the car's position. The craft drew up alongside the pier, and several thugs got out, scattering to secure the area. The car door opened, and someone stepped out. Toyama readied his camera again. Through the viewfinder, he spied the senior secretary of the Dyad member he'd been investigating. If that guy was here for a meeting, there could be no doubt about who had sent him. Then someone appeared on the deck of the boat. His suit fluttered majestically in the salty sea breeze. Toyama recognized this man, too. It was the Yakuza boss's right-hand man, his chief negotiator. Toyama clicked the shutter wildly. He captured the entire scene as the secretary took one of the thugs' hands, boarded the craft, and began talking to the Yakuza henchman, looking relaxed and familiar. This would be a political bombshell. The unveiling of such a major link between the government and the underworld would turn Japan on its head. Huh? One of the thugs picked up on the faint sound of the camera shutter. Oh, God. He began striding in Toyama's direction. The two made eye contact through the viewfinder. Uh-oh. Not a good time to get discovered. Toyama scurried away, desperate to flee the scene. He spotted a truck parked a short way down the road. Oh, they're both going to be expert hiders? Like, both Toyamas? There was no time to look for something better. He clambered up and hid himself in the bed of the truck. A moment later, the truck's engine started and the vehicle sped away. This keeps happening. Toyama laid huddled on his side, his eyes scrunched tightly shut. Only occasionally did he risk a glimpse at the passing scenery. The truck left the harbor and got onto the Shuto Expressway, then emerged onto the Tomei Expressway. That meant it was going to keep heading west, probably for quite some distance. It was indeed a good long while before the truck finally stopped. Once he'd heard the driver get out and walk away, Toyama popped his head up and took a look around. His eyes alighted on a blue road sign nearby. Nagoya? Oh, this was bad. He needed to get back to Tokyo right away. Wearily, he dragged himself to his feet. As he did, he sensed something behind him. Dead? Hana, is that you? Somehow Toyama's daughter was in the bed of the truck there with him? Hana, what are you doing here? I wanted to be the hide-and-seek champion. Hide-and-seek? So wait, you hid in the back of this truck and then... Hana gave a tiny nod. But what are you doing here, Dad? Ah, right, that. Well, Daddy was chasing after a scoop. Aha. Yeah. The two chuckled awkwardly. Well, first things first, Toyama said. We need to get home. They climbed out of the back of the truck and started walking. So, did you manage to become hide-and-seek champion? Definitely. The kid whose it still hasn't found me after all. What about you and your scoop, Dad? Oh, I was right in the mark. Sales for the next issue of 4-Star General are going to be through the roof. I guess that makes you champion too, Dad. I guess you're right. And as dawn broke over the streets of Nagoya, father and daughter walked amiably along, hand in hand. That's actually a sweet ending. Hooray! Finally, Toyama gets a win. That never happens. Alright, feels good, man. Okay. Let's just go back to Maria and not deal with Achi's bad ends. Some new pickup trick? Yeah, right, Fakafan? We get so much more positive Hana and Toyama in these side stories than in the actual game. It's depressing. Alright, we're golden. I'll hit a save to be sure. Boom. Alright, we did it. And we got the goofy music again. So, alright. This leaves us with only one special episode and 2 full endings, and then we will have completed this game. But from now, I'm going to stop the stream, so thank you very much for joining, and have a wonderful night.